Bhai, all due respect, what the is wrong with Oli?
Manchester United. In the early 2000s, under Sir Alex Ferguson, United were probably the most dominant team England had ever seen. And now, almost 10 years after Sir Alex Ferguson is retired, United has gone from one of the most dominant teams in Europe to, well, a club that's almost a second grade team. So, in this episode, we talk about the downfall of Manchester United, what's going wrong with them this season, and most importantly, what to do with their manager. So, trust me, stay till the end. Great conversation.
What is up, guys? We're back again with another episode of the Front Three podcast. I'm back in the flesh, wearing the Chelsea hoodie. It's been a while, and you know what else has not happened for a while? United winning a trophy. That's also not happened for a while. Let's talk about it. What's wrong with United? They bought Jadon Sancho, they bought Varane, they bought the goat himself, Ronaldo, and Oli still can't seem to win against mid-table clubs like Leicester. What's going on, Krishna?
What's going on, in my opinion, and in the opinion of most United fans, I think it's all on the manager. It's all on Oli. I mean, the man can't even, manage a farm. He can't manage, cows to bloody get into their barn. So, the way he's managing a football team that's filled with superstars. He's got, like you just said, we've got Rashford, we've got Sancho, Ronaldo, and this guy still is he just can't control them. So, in my opinion, it's either that we have the right players with the wrong tactics or the wrong players for the right tactics. And I'm going to go with the first option. We have the right players for the wrong tactics, because when you have Cristiano Ronaldo in your team, when you have Bruno Fernandes in your team, when you have that firepower, you have to it's of course not going to be the players' faults. I mean, sure, they can have one-off bad games, but if this is happening consistently, game after game, I mean, we've just got 1 point from from nine possible points, then it's not consistently the player's fault, right? There has to be some fault in the manager, some fault in the upper management as well, with reference to like Glazers and Ed Woodward. So in my opinion, there has to be some action taken, but maybe like getting an outside perspective on there. What do you think?
So before I dive deep into this, Abhi, like by the time we're recording this, the United versus Leicester City game just got over, and the final score was 4-2, and Leicester won. So before we get in depth and talk more about Manchester United, पहले हम थोड़ी इस game के बारे में बात कर लेंगे. So it started off with the cracker. I could probably say the best goal till now, maybe Mason Greenwood's banger, left top corner. And then I can say a goal that matched that quality with Yuri Tillmans, another left up corner. I mean, I didn't expect that at all. और फिर उसके बाद if I'm not wrong, I think Soyuncu scored, then Rashford, and then
Yeah.
finally Jamie Vardy, and then Patson Daka finished it off, and 4-2. तो scoreline की तो बात हो गई है काफी, but now we'll dive deep into the game, right? So what really went wrong, Krishna? Were the lineups up to United standards, or did you expect any changes?
Lineups were fairly decent, except one major flaw, which was starting Harry Maguire. So I mean, we had the news that he was injured over the past few weeks. He was injured the entire international break, and yesterday in Ollie's press conference, he said that Abhi he's just trained for 1 day. So I mean, I don't understand the sense कि एक दिन training करके फिर खिलाओगे in a match. He's of course going to be rusty. He's going to be sloppy. Coming otherwise, I like that he had stayed away from Fred this time. It was something new. He tried Matic and Pogba. The mid is definitely one area we have to change. So, I mean, I won't say it worked out very well, but experimenting हो रही है.
So Sman, where do you think? I mean, इस game में मतलब हमने देखा कि Ronaldo was, I would say, fairly silent because he did try, but I mean, if I'm not wrong, I think Ronaldo dispossessed the ball a lot of times. I mean, whenever I watched him, if he was with the ball solo, the Leicester defense was always at him, and they kept getting the ball. So, I mean, of course, Ronaldo is transitioned into a striker, but Sman, where do you see Ronaldo in the future? Like coming into this United squad? Do you see him as a goal scorer, a playmaker, or someone who just walks around the pitch? Like, how do you see Oli fitting him in, or maybe a new manager? You never know.
See, the thing is, Ronaldo's 37, man. And even though if we say he's the GOAT and he's gonna age, he's gonna get a little sloppy with his dribbling. I don't know how Messi's not gotten sloppy with his dribbling yet, but even he will get sloppy sooner or later. And if we see Ronaldo's game, it's not like his game is bad right now. We saw him perform exceptionally in the international break right now. He scored a hat trick, broke another record, classic Ronaldo Tuesday shit. So, but and he even attempted that amazing bicycle kick, which was
Yeah.
almost went in my opinion. So I don't think it's entirely his fault. Obviously, he could have been a little more active on the pitch. I agree with you. But
Mm.
I can't understand what is Oli doing wrong with his tactics that a man like Cristiano Ronaldo, who I would say is the best finisher right now, he can't get, and he has so much support. He has Bruno Fernandes, who a guy with amazing with passes. He has Paul Pogba, one of the best centre mids of this generation. He has players like Rashford and Jadon Sancho and whatnot. He doesn't lack support, and then yet he's still not able to find a play in which he can score. So that's a little concerning for me.
Yeah, no,
And
I
obviously,
definitely agree with you there. Because if you look at any other top six teams, take Liverpool from example. So if I ask Anwar, I'll be like, what is Liverpool's main tactic? He'll say that they like to use the wings more. Salah, Trent को use करेंगे right way, and then try to cut in maybe. So they have a very clear vision of how they want to play the game, how they want to go through. But like whenever I see United, there's no clear way of what we're going to do next. Like say someone passes the ball to Pogba, I don't know क्या करेगा, dribble करेगा, shot लेगा. There's no clear free flowing tactic that Oli has imposed on the team. Which I mean he I'm sure he has imposed it, but it's just not working. It's he's just not the right fit for us right now.
see, I don't think there's a problem with ambiguity because that's a good thing in certain scenarios. Because if you look at, for example, if you look at Chelsea and Tuchel, obviously we're going to play a more possession-based defensive game, but you don't exactly know what we're going to do most of the time because Tuchel is also a very versatile manager and he can change up the tactics. He can go from a three back to a four back in the middle of the game. You don't know, and we know how to use that. Like with Klopp, we know he's gonna play a high line. We know he's gonna press up there. So you need clear hai. But with Ole, he also has that ambiguity. But I don't think he know it's intentional. He just doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
So which is like, at least even if others don't have a clear idea of what he's gonna do, at least he should have it. And I don't think the players are starting to lose faith in him. Because even if he's putting out good tactics, I don't think players are executing it that well on the field. I doubt he's putting out like world-class tactics. But see, the same thing that was happening with Lampard last year, similar things is happening at Barcelona and Arsenal right now. When Arsenal's starting to pick up a little bit, you can see it in their plays, but not really. So there's only two options. Either Ole is gonna like pull up his socks, go full in, and come back like Sir Alex Ferguson used to back in the day, or he can go out and he's gonna get sacked. He's gonna be the next Pearl or Lampard, like club legend, but can't do hack it as a manager.
So I agree with what both of you said, because like you said, Krishna, the example that you gave of Liverpool, क्योंकि like हमें पता है कि we'll play the high lines, we'll dominate on both flanks with Trent and Robertson and Salah and Mane. And like you said for Chelsea as well, they like playing the possession game and slowly building up the flow. लेकिन United का तो अभी तक we haven't been able to see that now because it's such a distorted game, such a disoriented game. We aren't able to make out where the ball is going, who is the real man behind the United team. Because let's say Liverpool ka one player stands out, that's Mohamed Salah. But of course, Mohamed Salah ke alawa, the entire team is doing the work now. The entire team is helping him score goals. It's not that he's doing everything for the team. So similarly coming to United now, we've seen United have Cristiano Ronaldo, Varane, and Jadon Sancho, and I think Paul Pogba. I think those are the main guys, and maybe Bruno to a certain extent you can count him now as a premium, right? Like after his last season. So how, if you're the manager of Manchester United, like what tactic would you use, like both of you, and how would you go about it? क्योंकि मतलब चार अगर premium player हैं और चार ही मतलब अभी तक we haven't been able to see any flow in them, right? We haven't been able to see any tactic that's really helped them perform. Maybe certain game one player performs, but or else we haven't seen such a flow in the team, right? So where do you guys think that you can improve the situation?
So, I mean, of course, it's the position that we've all been talking, whole mid position, right? The CDM role. So firstly, I'll talk about our mid. So I think we're the only team who plays a defensive midfield pivot and then one attacking midfielder. I mean, I think apart from Chelsea, maybe. Otherwise, all the other teams, they have one defensive midfielder and two attacking midfielders. And especially in a team where you have, I'd say, two of the best centre backs in the world, you have Maguire and Varane, who should be playing ideally. Do we really need? I can see his man's face. Do we really need, say, two defensive midfielders? We could really first of all use, say, Donny to our advantage there and play him in a much more attacking role, because we know that he's very good with that one-touch quick passing, which could play onto Sancho also very well because he plays similar kind of football. I'd say that's what settles it for our mid. In terms of our defense, I think we have to stick with Varane and Maguire at the moment. I don't think we can do anything better unless we have injuries. And in terms of attack, I think that's a dilemma that I think most United fans are facing right now, especially because once Rashford has come back, how to fit Sancho in, how to fit Greenwood in, considering his performances. So, Usman, what do you think? What's the solution to that now that you have four good attackers in United?
I think see, cycling is the best option. Like cycle them because Greenwood has proven that he can play on the wing as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
I think he personally prefers a striker role, but
Yeah.
he isn't like big enough. He isn't a big enough player to demand a striker role from Ole yet. Unbiased opinion, he's one of the best he is the best youngster in Prem, according to me. Unbiased opinion. I know Mount and like Trent and all are good, but Greenwood can go on to be the only like Ballon d'Or winner. Obviously, I would want to play Ronaldo, but I guess resting him, even though he's the kind of player who won't want rest and want to play all the games and like get more goals and goals, but resting him might not be the best idea. But at least I think in a 38 game weeks he should be at least be playing 35 or 34 of them.
I agree with what he says, man. Again, I mean, talking about Ronaldo, another player who fits in his possession very well is Edinson Cavani. And we saw that last season also, he fit in extremely well. But again, yeah, I mean, I understand, in the previous game when Oli didn't play Ronaldo and each fan was like, what the hell are you doing, Oli? How can you keep Ronaldo out? But until a certain extent, I agree with him because, I mean, the excuse that he gave was complete bullshit. But if I am the manager of United, I wouldn't want to play. Of course, Ronaldo is a great player, but I wouldn't want to play him each game out and out, right? Maybe give Edinson Cavani a chance or some other, maybe get like you said, Greenwood as a striker. Maybe just try some new tactics that might help them, right? Because if he keeps going with the same stuff, keeps playing Ronaldo there, and Ronaldo's also struggling in the box, right? You saw against Leicester, like Soyuncu and these guys are completely dominating against him. So he needs to try something new, right? So talking about new tactics, Krishna, talking about new tactics, right? So coming to the biggest debate, I would say, to this Manchester United squad is, of course, we spoke about the players. हमें पता है कि कहाँ पे they all can improve and where United need to improve. I would say mainly in the January transfer window. So lastly, Ole Gunnar Krishna. So you and Sven, just let me know. Are you Ole in, Ole out? And if you're Ole out, who would it be?
Mine, you go ahead first. I'll say mine for the end.
I'm Ole in. I'm Ole in.
Yeah, I mean, Chelsea
Because-
man would obviously be Ole in.
No. Like, no, obviously, as I'm as big a Chelsea fan as I am a Ronaldo fan. So I obviously want to see him succeed. And but the thing is, see, we know Ole isn't a bad manager. He can be good. His specialty is reading the game, which he does pretty well. We've seen he hit the classic moment he had against in the 1999 final.
Yeah.
Like UCL final, he
Champions League
just
final.
came on as a sub and he saved United so many times. He has that ability to read the game. That's why he was always on the bench waiting for that perfect moment and then going in. But and I think that's the reason Greenwood is also doing a little like good in right now, because he's also developing that kind of killer instinct. But Oli needs to figure out how to transfer that onto the pitch, because see, the same thing with Lampard. The same thing I would say about Lampard. They came in too early. Like your club legends, you have the reputation of being this amazing person. Why not go on to smaller teams, develop your tactics a little, and then start and then come on to your main team? But now that he's here, I think he can develop it. But then again, Man United have to suffer this huge transition phase of Ole finding out who he is, which they have been doing for like the past 4 years. I wouldn't mind him being, but if he goes, I would want, I don't know, I just want Zidane to come, because that Zidane managing Ronaldo and Varane again would just bring me back, and they might even win something.
So I mean, I've spoken to you guys before that, you know, for the longest time I didn't really have anything against Oli. I was always like, you know, give him some time, let him get some good transfers, let him get a transfer window in which he can choose the players that he wants as well. And this time he was completely backed by the board. He was completely backed. He got who he wanted. He got Sancho, Ronaldo, Varane. Um, ठीक है, तो वो हो गया. But still, now we've had 8 matches and he's still not giving performances. He's like, like I said, Pele, we've got 1 point out of 9 possible points, that too from Leicester, West Ham, and Everton. Just imagine, these are points that we should be easily getting. And to be honest, our next match is against Liverpool. I'm shitting, bro. I'm so scared. I don't know what's going to happen. We got 1 point from 9 against these teams. Imagine what's going to happen against Liverpool. So definitely I'm Oli out, Carrick out. These guys need to leave the club as soon as possible. They're really not doing anything constructive. I mean, we're recording this right after the match is over. I can't imagine what's happening in the dressing room right now. But like Smayan said, in terms of replacements, who wouldn't love to see Zidane? I mean, who else is in the market? I think Antonio Conte, in terms of like big managers.
Yeah.
Conte. Bro, I speak from experience. Conte has given me a lot of pain as a Chelsea fan. But he did win us a title. But he's given me a lot of pain in the past. So I don't know if he'll be the best fit.
No, but I think Zidane would be a great fit, yeah, because Zidane's the type of manager. Of course, he has the experience, but he's the guy who can include so much potential in one team now. Because he did it with Madrid also in the final against Liverpool, when he completely tore us apart. When he had he had Bale, Ronaldo, Varane, Ramos, each player of them was in the FIFA team of the year. They were all at the peaks, I would say, till a certain extent. And he was able to fit all of them, right? And I can't say that Zidane will be happily accepting this offer from United, because he'll be in a tough spot if he comes to United now. Because if he's not able to perform, then Zidane's also out. The second he loses his first game, all United fans are Zidane out, Zidane out.
I think Zidane doesn't have anything to prove anymore. He said in an interview also that he doesn't care about being the next Pep Guardiola or Mourinho or whatever, or the legendary manager. He's a Real Madrid legend. He played for them in one shirt. He now managed them in one shirt. I think he even left managing. Like after he left Madrid, he released a statement that he's taking a break and he won't be managing any club anytime soon. But I don't think he would want to like manage United. He doesn't have an incentive unless like the board suddenly becomes Man City and pays him like 700 kidneys a second or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So just before we end this, Krishna, United have a couple of big games coming up. और अगले हफ्ते हमारा Liverpool के against game है. So just in case you guys have come to here, we'll be posting a video on that. We'll have a wager episode in that as well, in which Krishna and I are going to go head to head, and I'll obviously win, because if Liverpool lose United, then I won't be able to show myself in public. But so yeah, let's just give a short preview, maybe just a 1 or 2 minute preview. So I mean, looking at United now, I don't think Varane is going to be fit for the Liverpool game.
Yeah, he's not. Definitely.
Liverpool main issue was, I think, Alisson and Fabinho, because of the international break, and both of them will be back. So I'm pretty excited for that. And even Firmino is back, and he put on a great show tonight. Hat-trick against Watford, excellent game. So I'm expecting a lot from Liverpool side, and let's hope Ole gets sacked after this, because last time something like this happened, Mourinho got sacked and Shaqiri scored a goal.
Yeah,
So,
did it?
Keeping my fingers crossed.
But the only hope I think United have right now is either Rashford imagines Liverpool to be PSG, or Ronaldo just says F it all, I'm going insane, and then he just like scores 7 goals or something.
Imagine.
Because we all know he's capable of doing it.
Definitely.
Still, like, people, I mean, that's no excuse for Oli though. I'm just.
So this is where we'll end it, guys. Thanks for watching this video. We spoke about Manchester United as a team, their game against Leicester, which just happened. Then we went over to Mr. Ole Gunnar. We spoke about him. I would say two replacements for him and where he can improve, where the squad can improve. So thanks for watching till here, and we'll see you for the next major episode.
Just some finishing comments.
See.